Let's talk about Leeds first of all. That 4-1 defeat to Arsenal, we've just been listening to that on talkSPORT, and Leeds still in trouble at the bottom of the table. Do you think fans would rather stick with Bielsa come what may, with that style of football, even if it does lead to relegation, or they would rather have a change with someone who could perhaps shore things up and guarantee them survival in the Premier League?
For me, with Leeds United, they've been so far out of the Premier League. You know, so many years they've been in the Championship. They finally got into the Premier League. Surely they want to stay there. For
16 years, wasn't it?
For me, I would change Bielsa. I feel that the way they're playing at the moment, it's very stubborn coaching. You know, you're playing against like big teams, world-class players, and you're going toe-to-toe. You can't do that in the Premier League. For me, I'll change it. I'll get someone in who can keep Leeds United up now. Because Burnley, you look at the table here, Burnley have got 3 games in hand on Leeds. 5 points behind them. Do you know, like they're playing with fire. They're playing with relegation, and if they did go down, it might take them another 16 years to get back up. So for me, I just don't understand it. That the atmosphere at the ground, the fans are cheering. You're getting battered every week.
It sounds
it's Sunday league scores.
Like they're fully behind Bielsa. That's what it sounded like to me this evening.
It baffles me because if my team was losing like Leeds are losing, I wouldn't expect the fans to be clapping. You're getting humiliated. Battered. Sunday league scores, 11 goals in 2 games. Like, this isn't how you play in the Premier League. Every team you play against, the top managers will change their tactics. Steven Gerrard against Man City and Liverpool changed his tactics, plays a bit more defensive, because he knows if he goes toe-to-toe with Salah and Mane, he'll end up losing 9-10-0. So this elite management, everyone's talking about Bielsa, I'm yet to see it, because he needs to change his style for every game he plays.
They were 3-0 down at half-time to City, and there wasn't a change in the way they were playing in the second half. Another 4 goals came. Their heaviest defeat in the Premier League era. 3-0 down today. Do we give them some credit for the way they played in the second half tonight? There was a bit more fight.
It's easy to play when you're 3-0 down, though. It's easy to you can't play any worse. They couldn't play any worse.
They managed to against City.
But when you're 3-0 down against Arsenal tonight, home fans are still on your side. It's easy to come out and then have a go. But I just don't understand how you can concede 52 shots in 2 games on your goal.
They were so open tonight.
Over 25 shots. I just don't understand. It baffles me, Lindsay, honestly. Like, if I was a Leeds fan, I'd be very, very worried about them going down this season.
Do you think?
100%.
There's not 3 worse teams?
There's probably 3 worse teams, but these teams will change their tactics for different games and maybe get a draw against a top side, get them points that might, get them over the line. Leeds are going to go toe-to-toe with everyone. Who goes toe-to-toe with Manchester City? Mahrez, Foden, Grealish. You don't
Gabby,
do that.
They beat them at the Etihad last season.
Yeah, but last season's gone. Everyone was shocked how Leeds played last season.
In fact, they took 4 points off them last season.
Yeah, but last season was high intensity from Leeds. Everyone was shocked at their energy, but this is the Premier League now. All the managers are probably saying to their team, you don't get outworked by Leeds. I want you to be the fittest team on there today. You know, Arsenal probably look like the fitter team than Leeds. Premier League players will get demanded now to be as fit as any team in the Premier League. So that doesn't work for Leeds this season. That high press doesn't work. Today they've got a young lad at right back. You know, give him some cover, give him some help. He's going toe-to-toe with Martinelli, with Saka when he's swapped over. You don't do that. Help him out. It just baffles me.
I mean, the average age of the bench tonight was 18 years, 8 months. He had a 15-year-old on the bench. There are mitigating factors with the injuries they've got. I mean, probably the worst injury list in the league, perhaps, when you're talking about key players.
100%. But if I was a manager and I had the injuries that they've got, I wouldn't go toe-to-toe with Arsenal today. You change the tactics. We haven't got Phillips. We haven't got Cooper. We haven't got Bamford. What am I going to do? You know what? I'm going to play maybe 5
Try
in the back.
and grind out a draw.
Grind out a result. I'll play Rafinha on the counter-attack with Roberts maybe. Try and frustrate Arsenal. But they don't do that toe-to-toe and they get battered again.
Well, tonight on Your Verdict, if your call is selected as our caller of the day, you'll win a fantastic, extremely exclusive, very limited edition Caller of the Day mug. That's thanks to our friends at Coral. So give us a call now, 03717 22 3344. Let's get a Leeds fan on, Gabby, shall we? Ian, evening.
Hiya guys, how you doing? You doing all right?
Good evening.
We are. How are you?
Well, I mean, I rang this time last week after Chelsea, and I was feeling a little bit like downhearted, but I felt a little bit optimistic about the week ahead. But what a week it has been. Well, do you know what? I completely agree, and I completely am with Gabby. Everything he says, you're spot on, and I completely agree.
You can go home now, Gabby. Your work's done.
Yeah, no. Listen, I mean, should we get a job together at Leeds, shall we? But no, the thing is like, I think Bielsa's this massive big manager. He's tipped to be a genius, and in my opinion, I think he is because of how he's changed Leeds as a team in the Championship. 16 years, as you said, got us playing good football in the Prem, and then last season we played really good. But the problem is, I think, of course, the only thing I said, the big problem with him, he only knows one major tactic, and that is just go forward, bomb forward, send the house, everything. And I think he can't, for example, as you said, play with Senior Roberts on a counter. I think that's a great idea, but I don't think he likes that style of play, but it's killing us. But as you said, I don't think any manager in the world could, survive with the amount of injuries we have.
No, of course, Ian, and I understand the injuries, but you've still got a half-decent side out there. Do you know what I mean? You've still got, at the back, Ayling, Koch, you've got Dallas, you've got Click out there, Harrison, Roberts.
No, I know, but
you've still got good players there.
No, true, but they're not playing. I'd say a lot of them are not playing in their correct positions, and I'm not one for excuses. I'm really not, and I completely agree with what you're saying. I think okay, injuries are a factor of football. It's something you've got to take into account for. Bielsa likes a small squad. Yeah. He likes that one style of play. But as you said, it's killing us. But I think sticking with him is the best option we have. Okay. Because what other manager? Do you know what? I tell you what, you could bring in Pep. You could bring in Klopp, but they won't be able to do as much or better, in my opinion, than Marcelo Bielsa.
Ian, I think Bielsa could play Bayern Munich tomorrow and put Ayling 1-on-1 versus Sane. If I'm a Leeds player, I'm saying in the change rooms afterwards, like, oh lads, he's killing us. He's killing us. We can't do this. We can't. I'm not as good to go 1v1 against these superstars. Do you know what I mean? You've got to have cover 2v1 all over the pitch, shuffle across, frustrate teams. Leeds don't do that.
Do you think
it's baffling.
Players are fully behind him, Ian?
I think, of course, like a lot of them are, and I know I say a lot of them, but of course, I'm just a spectator at this point. But I think Calvin Phillips addressed it when he got subbed off against Brighton, and after we beat Palace, he said, look, we're always back him because of what he's done for the club. I think they support him, everything they're doing, but I think in this dark time, when you're not getting the results, people are going to start pointing fingers. People are going to say, oh, well, why is he doing this? As Gabby said, why aren't you backing Cody Dharma on the outside? Why are you not filling in? But that's where, this time last year, fans were saying, Leeds are going to go back down, but we finished 9th.
Ian,
and of course,
you've got Liverpool away next. Mo Salah will be licking his lips. He'll be like, I can get this golden boot wrapped up against Leeds, get 4-5 and wrap it up.
Of course. I was literally talking to my mates, watching the game with my mates, and literally they're Arsenal fans, and I was like, if they beat you 4-0 and you were beating us 3-0 at the time, what's going to happen to us? But this is the point. As you said, of course, Salah's licking his lips, and I would be if I was him. But I feel like, of course, these sort of games against Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, it sounds, of course, with the injuries and, of course, not making excuses, but they're the games that we're probably not going to get anything out of because we're the situation we are right now. And I think that's a lot of things that Leeds fans need to accept. There's going to be games we're not going to get anything out of. And it's hard to say because I know you said, why are you going toe-to-toe with Man City? But that's how we play, and that's how we surprised them last season. That's how we got results against the Big Four last year. But, of course, with the squad in depth we have right now, of course we're not going to do that. How are we expecting Cody Drummond? Yeah. I completely agree. But at the same time, that's not the way Bielsa doesn't want to play, sit 11 behind the ball. We don't want to play like Burnley at Sean Dyche. I mean, it works for Burnley, and it's brilliant. Sean Dyche is a great manager.
Yeah, but Ian...
So you'd rather be entertained even if it leads to relegation?
No, but that's exactly that's
the quandary.
If you needed 2 draws to stay up the last 2 games of the season, do you want to play Bielsa ball, or do you want to get behind the ball, play a bit defensive, and try and nick a draw? What would you want?
That's the beautiful thing, though. That's hindsight, though, Gabby. Because, of course, like in that sense, of course, you want to say, oh, no, we'll put 11 behind the ball, of course. But, however, if we put the numbers this time last year we're doing this season, no one will be saying anything. Like the chances we created, obviously the ones we've missed tonight and the ones we missed previous games, if we took those chances, not many people will be talking about
Ian, everyone's talking about Bielsa as this elite coach, he's the messiah. I'm watching it and I'm thinking, any manager today, the way Arsenal have been playing in recent weeks, where they are in the league, I'm thinking any proper elite coach would not go toe-to-toe with Arsenal with their best side, never mind so many injuries. Like, you've got a young right back, you know what I mean? You put him in a game like this and you just left him to get like,
of course.
Martinelli 1v1, he's 1v1, he's going to run through and score. Like, you have to top managers change their tactics for different games to grind out results, and that will get you high up the table.
No, I agree, but that situation, Cody Drama played against Martinelli in the FA Cup. I know it's completely different. It was a few months ago, but he pocketed him a few months ago. And I'm not saying, Martinelli's a new player, but I think, Cody had the potential to do that. But as you said, he needed some support, and that's the sensible thing, is to give him support. But he is capable, but I think he is asking a lot of these young players, which I think is killing us a little bit.
He's not having much choice at the moment, and it is 3 defeats, but it's Chelsea, it's City, and it's Arsenal. That's the thing. It's probably going to be 4 when you play Liverpool, but looking ahead, it's then home games against Burnley and Newcastle, and they're the ones, I guess, you're looking at where you can see yourselves pulling away from trouble.
What if it comes to goal difference at the end of the season, and you're like, well, if we didn't play kamikaze football against the top 4 teams, we might have stayed up.
It's what I said last week to you. It's organised chaos. It really is.
I'd love to be playing against Leeds. I'd be like, come on then, where's the goals? Let's go 1v1. I get past you. I'm through in on goal.